So this morning we are driving from Farmington, New Mexico, down about an hour and a half to Chaco Canyon, which is another one of those Pueblo, ancestral Pueblo villages that Craig Childs mentions in his book, House of Rain. So we learned about it a little bit and then decided to go there on our way to Santa Fe later today.
But first, if we're gonna do this thing or be on camera at all, we're gonna need some coffee before we
Agreed.
Yeah. Cheers. So we are driving into Chaco now. We're about 19 miles on a two-way road, and we were originally hoping to go to the Hopi reservation. But yesterday, as I was looking through the cultural center, which the website was very kind of standoffish, and it really seemed that they did not want many outside visitors. There wasn't really anything tourist at all. It just seemed very closed off. In fact, on the website, it said that you're not allowed to take photos or even sketches of any of their sites or ritual behavior or religious behavior. You're not allowed to even approach the Pueblos. Basically, their reservation is in the middle of the Navajo reservation, and it's on top of a few dozen mesas. And on our way out here to Chaco, we actually got to a chapter where Craig Childs was able to get out there. And he was describing huge cities that were in ruins on top of those mesas. But when he got in front of a council of elders and sat and talked with them, or tried to talk with them for a couple of hours, they gave him the chance to ask one question. And even that one question they refused to answer and sent him on his way. So the Hopi are one of the primary descendant groups from the ancestral Pueblos that we've been kind of tracking along with him. But he spent his entire life literally walking across this desert trying to find all of these sites, and they still refuse to give him any answers. So it's probably a good thing we didn't try to venture into Hopi territory, because we would have just been met with a bunch of shut doors. So instead, we're going to the site Chaco, or Chaco Canyon, that has the ruins of the ancestral Pueblans who left right before they went to Mesa Verde and built that.
They lived here from 800 to 1200 CE.
And from what archaeologists can tell, is this really was much more of like a St. Peter's Basilica type setup, where not too many people lived here, but it was more of a religious center. The reason why they think that is because there's not enough fireplaces or garbage heaps in order to support a population larger than a few hundred. But it seems that people from all over would come to this place for ritual purposes, and so there's lots of kivas and really intact ruins that we're looking forward to seeing, and we hope we could get in and crawl among the ruins, unlike we were able to do up at Mesa Verde because of the cold. Right now it's about 50 degrees. We're in a much lower part of the desert, and it's in an open plain. The website said that they do allow self-guided tours. However, I tried to call to confirm, and it was just a voicemail at the ranger station. So we're hoping we could get in and explore and learn more about who these people who really lived across the entire Southwest for a few thousand years, about 1,000 years ago.
Just to clarify, the Hopi people are not necessarily hostile. It's more that they are very protective of their history. Craig Childs' book, he basically said that, no, they couldn't answer his question, but their response was basically it would take a year to answer. His question, to clarify there, was whether they knew of any clans who went south and didn't come back. And their response was basically it would take a year to answer that question. So instead, they sent him along to a guy living in Tucson, Arizona, to just kind of give him a little bit more of an answer to that question. It's just staring at us.
I don't think they were like deferring the question. I think that they're a culture that really believes in experiential understanding. I get that kind of from the Freemason perspective, where we say that you have to learn things in degrees, and it takes time and it takes years in order to fully digest something. And the reason why they opened up to Craig was because he told them that he had spent his life walking these deserts from point A to point B, sleeping on the ground and drinking from the streams. And so they trusted him a little bit more, I think, because they understood that he was willing to learn through experience over time
And put in the full effort.
Exactly. And so I think that they wanted him to understand that it's not just something that you could, hop in and then ask the elders a question and then you walk away. The true answer is far more valuable than that. So sending him on another journey in order to piece together the answer on his own, on a journey that would take more than a year, I think is something really cool from a cultural perspective, and demands a huge amount of respect. And yeah, I really, from the limited amount that I understand now about the ancient Pueblos and the Hopi culture today and how deep their culture is, I have a whole lot more respect for them now too.
This is not like the roads going out to Mesa Verde at all.
Yeah, it's a little rough. The
speed limit here is 35.
I can't go over 10 right now.
Yeah.
Wait.
That's not it.
That's not it.
No,
Okay.
no.
Right.
We got 2.3 miles on this road still.
Oh boy. Going 10 miles an hour, it'll be it'll be a while.
Our ETA is 21 minutes, and there's only like a little over 8 miles to go.
We made it to Chaco Canyon. 43 survived. We're kind of, still buzzing from that road a little bit. I have to pee. Who would have thought they have an actual visitor center way out here? Also, they have some cliff dwellings as well, and it's over by the campsite. And there's some residential stuff, assuming it's people who work here and archaeologists and stuff, but we're gonna go inside and check it out. So they actually have stickers. We're gonna go with that one. They have tons of different options. Kind of excited about this one. Should we call that the end of the row?
I think so.
Yeah? It's a good punctuation mark.
Yeah. Okay.
This parking lot not only does it have a structure called Pueblo del Arroyo, but it also has the beginning of the trails.
Gotcha.
Green dots are the hiking trails.
Okay.
If you're here for the day,
How far is it up?
yeah, that's going to be about 3 miles round trip. I'll
Okay.
come back.
Gotcha.
Here. Sign in here, Pueblo, walk over here, climb the rock. A lot of people just go to here and look down into the structure. That's about it.
So just like Rome, all roads lead to Chaco.
And he said yes, because Richard came.